As a parent, there's nothing more frightening than knowing your child's in danger and there's nothing you can do to help. For George and Vicki O'Brien of Beaverton, Oregon, that moment came on January 14th, 1989. The O'Briens' oldest daughter had to cancel her babysitting job at the last minute, but their middle daughter, 10-year-old Kelly, offered to fill in.
Bye, sweetheart. Okay. Kelly's a very good babysitter. We've always felt very comfortable with the job that she would do, and it was in the afternoon, too, and we didn't feel any alarm or worry about sending her out.
Mary Willis picked up Kelly and drove her the 3 miles to the Willis' house.
We felt like we lived in a safe place.
Oh, hi, Tom. Hi, Kelly.
How you doing, Kelly?
She had been babysitting for us for a number of times, so there wasn't too much to orient her to, just to explain what Comey had eaten and to put him down for a nap at about 1 or 1:30.
We'll be back at 4.
With that, we left the apartment.
I'm going to lock you in, so you go ahead and just throw the latch.
I will.
Bye-bye.
Want to go play with the Trace?
I know we deadbolted the door with the key from the outside.
Paint that for me. Are you tired, Comey? Come on, let's go take me out.
Around 2 p.m., Kelly took 2-year-old Comey upstairs for his afternoon nap.
Night.
Sheriff's Deputy Dwayne Fuquay recalls what happened next.
Apparently an individual had driven up in front of the duplex looking at a young girl that was inside the duplex. I believe she was 10 years old. She saw this individual in a car looking at her or staring at her. She moved out of line of sight of the individual in the car. He moved the car so that he could continue to watch and possibly see her again. At about the same time that this was happening out front, someone was knocking, another unknown, knocking on the back door or a back window of the duplex.
What do you want?
The individual in the back of the house continued to knock and bang on the door.
911, please, paramedical.
I'm babysitting and somebody's in the door and then on the other way somebody's in a car and it's scaring me.
She was talking so quickly and yelling that I could hardly understand anything she'd said.
Okay, are you alone?
Yes.
What's the address there?
I don't know.
Okay, hold on. I need a trace on a 3404.
She was in a situation where she didn't know where she was.
I'm going to trace the line so that we can find out where you're at.
So we immediately began a trace, which normally takes approximately 8 minutes. In 8 minutes, we're talking the difference between life and death.
How old are you?
I'm 10.
You're 10 years old. What's your name?
Kelly.
Kelly?
The one kid's sleeping upstairs.
What's your phone number there?
I don't know.
Can you look at the phone and look?
It doesn't say.
She didn't have information enough for me to start police over there.
Kelly, what is in the house that's scaring you?
There's somebody outside knocking at the door and then on the other side somebody's in a car and they're looking at me.
Someone's looking at you?
Yes.
Okay, Kelly, can you look around and find a piece of mail with your address on it?
There isn't one.
She didn't know the phone number. She didn't know the address. She was in between a rock and a hard spot, and she was looking for help.
Where are your parents, Kelly?
Somebody I don't know. I mean, I know him, but...
Okay, try and calm down, Kelly. Try and calm down.
They're looking at me.
Okay, are they at the window?
I started to think, why do these people want into the house? They must have wanted in pretty bad for them to let her see them.
Whose house are you at? Is it a friend of yours?
Yes.
Okay, are they babysitting you?
No, I'm babysitting their child.
Okay, and someone's come to the door and you won't let them in. Is the door locked?
Yes.
I felt that they were there to possibly kidnap the child that was upstairs, or possibly do harm to Kelly.
Kelly, do you know the address where your parents are?
Yeah, but I'm babysitting for somebody
We realized that possibly we might be able to help her faster if we called her parents.
Dispatcher Terry Schroeder hoped Kelly's parents would know the address of the house she was at.
It's 911.
You never think that something will happen to your own family.
We need the address where she's at. Kelly. Okay, we're on the line with your dad now.
Somebody's trying to break into the house.
I panicked. I was terrified. I knew that in a twinkling our lives could be changed forever and that she could be taken away from us, and I was just terrified.
What's the address where she is?
As we tried to figure out where she was and then to find exactly the address,
Yeah, I don't have the exact address, ma'am. I'm sorry.
my mind became a little confused. I knew the directions to their place. I knew their first names. I could go there in a minute. I did not know their phone number. I did not know their address. I did not know their last name.
Okay, Kelly, everything's okay there. We're still trying to find out where you're at.
We needed to have police sent at least to the area where she was at.
Phone number or something?
The dispatchers passed Kelly's father's directions on to Deputy Fuquay. They were all he had to go on.
You think about what can happen to this young girl when we did not know where she was exactly, but we knew that there was a small child in trouble. I was concerned and trying to get there as fast.
You want to do something to know that you can help.
We pulled out the phone directory. We started thumbing through that, looking for the names of our friends who lived next to them.
Without an enhanced 911 system, the dispatchers could not get Kelly's address automatically.
I just wanted to get her out of that situation as quickly as I could.
Strange noises outside. You hear strange noises?
Yes,
Okay, from what part of the house?
from the front by the door.
Here's your friend's space.
Okay, this is where we need to go. Okay, you're at the Willis address, Kelly?
Yeah.
Okay, well, we've got the address now, so we're going to go ahead, and we're going to go ahead and send the police out there to help you, okay? Well, you can stay on the line with me.
Okay.
And I'll let you know when the policeman gets up to the house.
Okay.
You always wonder, is this going to be another statistic? Is it going to be another tragic situation? You run through the gamut of emotions. You run through the entire realm of what could happen as you're trying to get to the location as quick as possible. If I could only drive a little faster, get there a little quicker, maybe I'd be able to help a little more.
Is he still out there?
The man in the car isn't, but I think the guy at the door is because it keeps on knocking.
Did you tell him to go away?
Yes, I said, please go away, you're scaring me. And he kept on knocking. I just saw the police car.
Okay, you see the police car?
Yes.
Okay, calm down, Kelly. Okay, stay on the line. I'll tell you when to go to the door, all right?
Yeah, I just drove right by the back where the car used to be.
Where the car used to be. The car's gone now?
Yeah, the car's gone, but the man sounds like there's still somebody there, but I'm not
Sounds
sure.
like somebody still might be out front.
Not finding the suspect vehicle, we did an area check. The scene was safe and secure.
Let's do the door knock again. Whoever!
Okay, Kelly? Kelly?
Yeah?
You can go to the door. It's the policeman, okay? Okay. Go ahead and go. I'll stay on the phone for you.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm going to stay on the phone. You go ahead and go to the door. It's the policeman.
I felt relieved that I knew that Kelly was safe.
Okay, Kelly. I'll go ahead and say goodbye, all right? Okay, bye, Kelly.
Bye.
I'm extremely proud of Kelly. I think she did a remarkable job for a 10-year-old.
She's real sharp. She's very sharp. She dialed 911. Did the right thing. You'd like to think that all young children would respond the same way, but in fact they don't.
Hi.
She's okay.
Hi. You okay?
She just gave me a big hug, and that was about all she could muster at that point. To have her safe again, that to me was the peak of the happy ending.
I think that without Kellyanne, our lives would have been very much different. She's a very special, bright spot in our lives. The happiest is knowing that we will be able to see her grow up, that we'll be able to enjoy her beautiful spirit, to know that she'll be able to share that spirit with other people for a long, long time to come.
She was very fortunate that they didn't get in, because I've handled calls where they did.
My advice to other children that are babysitting is to always have the name and address of the people you're babysitting for, and to lock the door.
Kelly is definitely responsible for saving Comey's life. Had she opened the door and someone got in, they could have been beaten up, they could have been kidnapped, they could have been killed. I hope I've been able to express to Kelly how grateful I am to her. We're extremely grateful to Kelly for saving Comey's life.